Hello, my name's Richard Murray, and this is the Zadim channel. It's a place where I talk about 3D printing and model trains, and every once in a while I go off to the side on another topic. And this is one of those times. Why 3D printing? Why now? Why is it exciting? It's 2017. I'm just getting into 3D printing and I find it a very exciting time. Why? Well, let's go back several decades. In the mid-70s, I started following the hobby of home computers. I just longed to have one. I was still in school. I read everything I could. I remember a Popular Science article talking about the very first home computer store. We didn't call them personal computers yet. They were home computers. And if you wanted to get into home computers, you would have to buy a circuit board. You could buy something like the Apple I, which just was a board. You can get an IMSI system. Have no idea how to pronounce that, where part of the project with the hobby was you had a row of switches. You set all the switches to the right area, hit the enter button, and that was a byte going in there. And you had to do that for a few days to get things up and running so you could actually attach a keyboard to the computer and go on and just have to type commands. Then late 70s come along. I think it was 77, 78, not 100% certain which. Computers like the Trash 80 is what we called it. The Radio Shack TRS 80 came out. The Apple II came out. What was special about these? Well, when you got them, they weren't a kit. You could plug them in and you can use them. And the hobby of home computing changed from having to build a computer to an area where you could actually use it and do things. And that was the focus. And right up to today, if you want to, you can still go buy the parts and put them together. I have a whole bunch of computer parts around here. That's still part of the hobby. So let's jump ahead some 40 years later, and that's a scary statement. 40 years later, here we are with 3D printing, a hobby I hadn't even thought about back 40 years ago. But with 3D printing, we're at that point now where you have a choice. You can buy a kit, and the majority of the printers out there are kits, but if you don't want to do that, you can buy a 3D printer that you can bring in, plug in, go through the basic setup, and you're printing. And that basic setup has nothing to do with kit type assembly. So we're not going to get to the point where everybody has a 3D printer on their desk and everywhere else. At least that's a ways away, because there's still a lot of technical aspects to it. But we can start doing things with it. And that's why it's exciting. And there's so many printers out there. There's so much filament. And there's so many ideas. And it's so new that people turn around and go, oh, what can we do with that? How can we do this? Look at this filament. How can we put that to work? What works? What doesn't? Multicolor. Well, CMYK printing. We've seen a sample of that. There's so many possibilities. And we're right on the leading edge of that. That's why it's exciting. That's why I love 3D printing. So, once again, support if you can. Click the subscribe button. You can send me a tweet. You can text me. I'm on Zadim.com. I got the website I'm building. If you would like to support me, you can head over to Patreon, Zadim17 there. And once again, I stream live every Wednesday at 10 a.m. Pacific. Be safe out there.